got a problem. A big one. The controller chip for our water purification system has given up the ghost. Can't make another one, and the process is too complicated for a workaround system. Simply put, we're running out of drinking water. No water, no vault. This is crucial to our survival. And frankly, I think you're the only hope we have. You need to go find us another controller chip. We estimate we have 4 to 5 months before the vault runs out of water. We need that chip. We marked your map with the location of another vault. Not a bad place to start, I think. Look, just be safe, okay?
Alright, so welcome to our interface. There's actually a lot to talk about, and I'm not sure where to start. But I think what I would like to do is mention 2 things I forgot in the last video. One is, even though I tried to do my best to give you an overview of the character creation, I think there's someone that does a much better job of that. And that's Kador Genesis. I have a link to his channel in both this video and the previous one. So if you want to get a further in-depth overview of how to create a character in Fallout, please check out his channel. He sure doesn't need any promotion from me, but I think you might like it. He's also, I think, in the middle of a Fallout 1 Let's Play. So if you're enjoying it, check out his as well. Another thing I wanted to mention, but forgot about in the last video, is depending on the skills you tag, you'll get different items to start the game. Now, in the default vanilla version of the game, you get one set of particular items, but since we're playing the Fallout Fix-It version, we have different items. Now, what we're looking at right now is going to be the interface for the majority of the game. Our character is that blue man right there towards the center, and my cursor is that kind of red, what do you call that, a hexagon right there? Now, if I hit the right mouse button, that changes to a pointer, which allows us to examine things, while the red square allows us to move around the map. If I double-click, we'll run to an area. So for example, when I mouse over this corpse here, a hand icon pops up, which lets us know that we can take stuff from it. Now before I get too much further, down here is our little information window. That tells us information about what we're seeing and what we're doing. So for example, we see the Vault 13 door entry computer. We see bones. Let's click on the bones. And now we have an inventory screen. The left is what we're carrying. To the right is what the container we're looking at has. And in this case it has some ammunition and a knife. Now, one thing different about this version of the game compared to the default version of Fallout is we have this option to leave all or take all, which makes collecting items a whole lot easier. Now, there are 2 ways to get to our inventory screen. I can hit the I button, or I can go down here to this inventory button. This gives us a little bit of information about our character, like his name, current hit points, armor class, and what items he has. Now, since right now he has no items in item slot 1 or 2, he's doing unarmed damage. We did not tag unarmed as a skill, so his ability to hit is going to be lower and his damage is going to be lower. And that would be affected by strength if we made him stronger. So item 1 or 2 we can put anything. We can put a consumable like these mentats, or we can put a weapon like this knife. Now in the case of the knife, it tells us it's new damage. You can also get information about the items by right-clicking on it and changing to those binoculars. A knife, a sharp-bladed cutting and stabbing weapon. Minimum strength 2. It weighs 1 pound. So to use the knife effectively, we would need a strength of at least 2. And it weighs 1 pound. We can carry a total of 150 pounds at the moment. Now we took the speech skill, the lockpick skill, and the energy weapon as our tag skills. So that's why we end up with some extra items, like these lockpicks, and this very cool laser pistol. But we have a regular old pistol in here too, so let's compare the two. You can see the laser pistol, the damage is much higher, 10 to 22, with a range of 35, compared to the 10mm pistol, which is 5 to 12, with a range of 25. We're going to save that for a little later. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this at the moment, because as we play the game, I'll be able to tell you more and more about it. There's one very important thing I want to tell you about, though. If I hit F1 here, we get the quick help screen. The quick help screen here tells us all the keyboard shortcuts to do stuff during the course of the game. Now I have this up on my other screen right now, so I'll be referring to it during the course of the game. Let's get back to the actual game. So it might be hard for you guys to see, but we have rats running around in here. And if I left click on it and choose the binoculars, you get a look at it. You see nothing of the ordinary. She looks unhurt. So that means this rat has not been damaged yet. Let's change that. Alright, we got close enough to the rat that the rat noticed us and is ready to initiate combat. So right now, we have our 10mm pistol, and I have it set to a single shot, and it's using 5 AP. So let's try to shoot this rat. We have an 81% chance of hitting this rat. We did, and pop, it just blew up like no one's business. But we have 4 points left for this round of combat that we can use. Well, I could walk around. You see, if I want to walk over there, it's going to cost 4 action points, which is what we have. But if I go 1 square beyond that, we can't, because we don't have enough action points. Alright, for destroying your enemies without taking a scratch, you earn 25 experience. Now, 25 may not seem like a lot, but if we hit it here on our character screen, we only have to get to 1,000 to get to our next level. And fighting the rats in here is worth it, because we'll get about 500 experience. Now, let's talk about our weapon a little more. If I click on it, I can initiate combat. Now, down here, you can see the rats are too far away. They're at negative chances to hit. Now, and if I right-click on the icon, I can change its firing mode. That little target down there means we're in VATS. That allows us to aim at particular parts of the animal's anatomy, which can have different effects in the game. For example, if I shoot their legs and I do enough damage, I can cripple one of the legs, making them move more slowly. Or if I cripple their eyes, they become blind and can't see, so they lose all kinds of bonuses to perception. And if I right-click one more time, I get to reload. Reloading costs 2 AP. This green bar here tells us how much ammunition we currently have in our weapon. So we're going to fill it back up. Now this red button right here lets us switch between item 1 and item 2. Our item 2 right now is unarmed. Okay, we are not going to fight with these rats, so we're just going to end combat. We're going to go to our inventory. What we have here are flares. A flare creates light for a short period of time. The paper's a little worn, but otherwise in good condition. Twist the top to activate it. Well, we're going to right-click on it and choose this open hand icon. That means we just lit this flare. See? Flare lit. Now we can keep the flare in our possession, and our area of light around us gets a little brighter, or we can put it in our hand. And if we wanted to, we could throw the flare. We're not going to do that. I'm actually going to keep it in our inventory, so I have my hand open to punch things. Let's go over here towards these rats. Looks like there's 4 of them in here. We caught one of their attention. Now, since the rat is close enough, I can try punching it. Only got a 57% chance of doing it, but it costs 3 AP, so we can try it 3 times. Yeah, take that, rat. I'm not above punching rats. So it's our turn now. The rat started combat, so we get the first turn after the rat starts. Let's change back to our gun. And pop. That's the end of that rat. I'm going to try to take out the rest of the rats while we're here. Now this doesn't happen a lot, but you actually will earn extra experience for taking out a large number of enemies without getting hurt. That doesn't happen to me a lot, but it's nice when it does. I don't think these rats are quite dangerous enough to be worth the extra experience. So you see, for destroying our enemies without taking a scratch, we earn 75 XP. A rat by itself is worth 25 XP. Let's reload, and we're going to end turn. No more rats want to jump us, so combat ends. But I want to finish shooting these rats. Let's get a little closer to this one. You saw over here, our chance to hit it is 68. But if we're right next to it, our chance is 82. I'm going to end combat and reload. Hey. Alright, I was about to start explaining some of the map. Most of the map is pretty easy to see. Uh-oh, we missed. I shouldn't have walked away. I should have stayed right there. Oh, no good. We got hit for 5 damage. Huh. Alright. Well, we used 5 AP to shoot the gun, but if I switch to our fists, we have 3 AP that we can use to try to punch it. And we did. I have 1 AP left. I'm going to take 1 step away, so that way the rat has to take a step to get close to us. That 1 step away could be the difference between the rat having 1 attack or 2 attacks. Alright, so looking here you can see this is the area around Max. And we can see stuff on the floor like these dead rats. They're not carrying anything. But sometimes when we get real close to the wall, some of the wall kind of disappears, allowing us to see more of what's over there. Every once in a while we're going to find all kinds of little goodies hidden in these nooks and crannies. Alright, let's move on. In fact, you know what we're going to do? Well, first we're going to shoot this rat. Okay, I can't end combat because there are other hostile rats. So I'm going to end turn. I'm going to walk 4 squares up to this one, and we're going to shoot it. Alright, one thing we can do is remove the ammunition from our weapons. We're going to go down here to this icon of the, I guess, what do you call it, a clip being removed. Now the ammunition is in our inventory. That's this right here. 10mm JHP. Ammunition, caliber 10mm, jacketed hollow points. But we also have this type of ammunition. This is 10mm AP, ammunition caliber 10mm armor piercing. Weighs 1 pound. Now if I wanted to put the armor piercing ammunition here, I'm just going to drag and drop it. And from now on, anytime we reload it, it's going to use the armor piercing ammunition. Not something we're going to really need against these rats. Alright, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's put the knife on and the laser pistol on. Now you see here, the laser pistol uses 12 small energy cells, which is this right here. A small self-contained energy storage unit, weighs 3 pounds. Now if you remember, energy weapons are our tag skill. So I'm going to hit the letter C, and you can see our energy weapons are at 29. Our small guns are at 34. So let's try to shoot this rat with our energy pistol. 76, so a little less than the regular pistol, but not that bad. And that takes it out. I'm going to reload, change our weapon, and walk closer to this huge nest of rats. Okay. Pretty sure there was one around here. So you saw what happens when we try to punch. Let's take a look at when we try to knife it. Our knife is only 47, but we get 3 swings because 3 AP goes into 9 action points. We hit it once for 5 damage. Not great. Alright, now it's done. And we'll just spend our last swing on that. So let's say we're using these weapons and we don't like how well we're doing with them. We can go into our inventory during combat, but that uses up action points. So you see we've already used up 4 of them. We're going to change to our 10mm pistol. We're just going to shoot this rat. We're not going to shoot this rat because there's no ammunition in there. Ooh, we hit it, but we only hit it for 5 damage. That wasn't enough to kill it. So we're going to swing at it. We missed. Alright, that's enough combat. Now, what I want to do is put the regular ammunition back in there. So we've lost about half our health. We have options to deal with that. For example, if you remember here in our skills, we have Doctor and First Aid. We can try using our First Aid skill or our Doctor skills to heal us. But that takes time. That takes about half an hour. So let's see if I can First Aid. So we actually were able to heal 2 hit points, and we got 25 XP for that. We can do the same thing with Doctor. It also takes, I think, half an hour of game time. But we failed to heal anything. If we did succeed, we would have healed more HP and got more XP for it. Another option is to use Stim Packs. A Stim Pack, or Stimulation Delivery Package, is a handheld portable healing unit that consists of a syringe for containing and delivering the medication, and a gauge for measuring the status of the Stim Pack's components, or contents. When injected, it provides immediate healing of medium wounds and minor tissue damage. No side effects. Now, we could put it into our item 1, but I'm just going to use it straight from the inventory. And there we go, back to full health. Alright, let's try to take out the rest of these rats. Now, you've probably figured this out already, but the red outline on creatures means that those are enemies that you can attack. So if there happens to be one hiding in a corner or something, you just switch to targeting and see if you can find it. So there's 1 over here, 2 down here, and 2 over this way. Let's put you down. Get closer to you. Alright, let's reload, and that's the end of combat. Yeah, A large pile of bleached animal bones. At least you think all the bones are animals. Okay, let's get those last 2 rats down here. Oh, nope, it got the first attack. But we got the last attack. And combat is over. So we've killed every rat in this area. We got 525 XP. That's a little more than halfway to the next level. To the west, you can see a natural light. For the first time in your life, you are looking at the outside world. Now this right here is the exit grid. When we step into the exit grid, we're going to leave this area and go to a new one. In this case, we're going to go to the overworld map. But if you know anything about me, you know that I like to save smart and save often. Now right here is our options menu. We can click here to save the game. We have 10 different save slots that I've also already used for other games, and I like to set up my save slot 1 as my quick save. So yes, we're going to overwrite that. I can quick save by hitting F6 any point during the game, choosing which slot we're going to use. And now anytime I hit F6, it will automatically save, or F7 will automatically load. So let's go out into the wastes. Alright, so here we are on the world map now. That large green triangle there indicates us, while this sort of green circle here means that there's a settlement or an area to explore. In this case, it's Vault 13. It's the area we just left. These grayed out squares here, those let us know that we haven't explored the area, but we kind of know what's there. While these solid black squares here mean we haven't looked over there at all. On the right of our screen here, we have our choices of places we can explore. Since we've been to Vault 13 and know where it is, we can just click on it to go to there. And now here we can pick what parts of Vault 13 we want to enter. Right now only the cavern or the vault door is available. If we wanted to, we could just travel directly to Vault 15 because we know that is over here. So we can click anywhere we like and we'll start traveling in that direction. And if you see up here, time is passing as we travel. And we only have something like 180 days to find the water chip before it's game over. If we know the location we want to travel to, we can click the button that corresponds with it. And we'll travel in a straight line, but as you see, we just came across something here. There's an unknown settlement here. So we're going to stop here and take a look at it. Welcome to Shady Sands, stranger. Please holster that weapon while you are here. Now, before I get any further into the game, let me tell you this. Just about anywhere we go, if we're carrying a weapon, people are not going to be happy. Which is something I'm really glad they changed in future games. So, we're going to click this button here and go to Unarmed. And this is also our first chance to start interacting with the game's NPCs. But we've entered a new area, and I think the best thing to do is save the game. Now, like I said, I already got a whole bunch of saves here, but we're going to save in slot 2. Yep, it's alright, we can overwrite it. We're going to call this Shady Sands. Nope. So, in case anything goes wrong, I can always load the game back up from right here. We'll still use our quick save here and there, but if anything goes disastrously wrong, we still have the option to reload the game at the very beginning of exploring this settlement. One thing that people more familiar with the base version of the game might notice is there was just a little kid running around over there. fact, if we look around, yeah, there are a couple of little kids running around. These little buggers are a part of the Fallout Fix-It patch. They added those characters or NPCs back into the game. They do nothing. In fact, they tend to get in the way most of the time. But they're in there, so we'll deal with it. Now, this gentleman was the first one to talk to us, and as I highlight him, we get the option to talk to him. That's what the little face kind of symbol there is. And it says right down here, you see Seth. So let's go say hello to Seth. Good day, I'm called Seth. How can I help you? So this is the screen where we'll talk and interact with different NPCs. Right here, that's what they're saying to us. And down here is our options for what to say to them. With this guy, we're okay. We can talk to him and he'll be alright. But depending on the NPC you're talking to, you might want to be careful with what you say, because you could offend them, or upset them, or piss them off, which will change the game, including making them attack you. Also over here, we have the barter button, which if the person has items they're willing to sell to you or trade with you, they will. And then we have this one here. This is an interesting one. This is the Tell Me About button. This brings up a dialog box where we can type in anything we want. I almost never use this, and I'm probably not going to use it during the course of this playthrough because I'm just not used to using it. But let's ask him about a water chip. Sorry, I can't help you. We're probably going to get that a lot if you use the Tell Me About function. Now, I think the review over here allows us to look at what has already been told to us. So if you lose track of the information, you can click here and look at it again. But we want some information. Information? What do you want to know about? I want to know about this place. Shady Sands is a peaceful community. We have our own irrigation system, so we can grow our own food. If we were not plagued with raiders or rad scorpions, we'd have no problem. Alright, I want to know about the rad scorpions. Those damn rad scorpions have been after our Brahmin since we moved here. Not a week goes by that someone doesn't get poisoned trying to keep them out of the pens. Last week, that's a little too fast. Last week they took my brother Jarvis, Razlo the doctor. Now you see, we can keep reading the dialogue here. That's why there's a little arrow that points down. He's looking for an antidote as quickly as he can. Hey, if you have the means to help us, why don't you talk to our leader, Radash? Again, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. So, take me to the Rad Scorpion Caves? No, we do not want to go there yet. We are not prepared to deal with a cave full of rad scorpions. But I'll show you guys what a rad scorpion looks like shortly. Okay, there's more we want to know about this place. We've already read that, so let's ask about the raiders. There are several groups of raiders. I organized guards like Ian to help fight them off. There's one band to the southeast of here. Watch out for them. Alright, well thank you, Seth. That's enough from you. You should speak to Aradash, our leader. He likes to meet all the visitors. He should be in the town hall to the building to the south. Well, we should go talk to him, but first, we're going to talk to Katerina over here, who has a very pretty smile. Welcome to Shady Sands, traveler. My name is Katerina. My job is to greet strangers and help them understand our village. We find there are fewer problems if you listen to what I have to say. Well, we have our choices. We could ask her to tell us about herself. We could ask for help. We could ask for the water chip. Well, we're going to start with the water chip. As a matter of fact, yes. My old home, Vault 15, had one. I hadn't been there since I was hurt, but you might find what you're looking for there. Someone said they tried to go to the vault to have a look around, but it was dark and the elevator was broken. I hope you're better prepared. So now we can just kind of ask her questions about... They're generally kind of questions to help us understand how to play the game and how things work. So, what should I do if I get hurt? Well, if you can't get to a doctor, you will need to heal yourself. Stim packs are a common healing item. Use them on yourself to heal minor wounds. First aid is a slower method, but it's always available. For major wounds like a broken leg, you should use your doctor skill. Alright, where can we get better equipment? You'll have to do what we do. Scavenge it or trade for it. If you're attacked, your foes might provide equipment, if you live long enough to loot the corpses. We are a peaceful community, so we mostly barter or trade for the items we cannot produce. Alright, tell me more about bartering. Okay, I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit. Bartering is the exchange of goods. You give me some items, and I give you items in trade. Since you initiated the barter, I will let you pick and choose what you want, but the deal must be one that I think I will like. So you probably won't give me more valuable goods than you don't need in exchange for less expensive things you want. And if you don't have enough items to trade, there's always caps. Bottle caps are the only common money found out here. Caps are backed by the merchants of the hub, so you can trade them anywhere. Alright, so for example, if we hit barter here, over here on the right we have the items that she has. So for example, we have stim packs, bottle caps, a bag, and if we click these arrows we can move up and down to see if she has anything else. Well, she doesn't. Now personally, I would like those stim packs and those bottle caps. So if I drag them over here, we're going to get all two of them. They're worth $238. Do I have anything to trade worth $238? Or in this case, caps. How about our mentats? One of them is $280. Now $280 for $235 isn't exactly what we want. Let's drop all the bottle caps. So that's a little closer. What if we want this bag? Well, she wants money for that bag. Money that we don't have. So we're going to trade one pack of mentats for 35 coins and, well, 35 bottle caps and 2 stim packs. Okay, that's a good trade. Okay, so tell me about this place. You're standing in Shady Sands. We are a small town in a large world. We just want to be left alone. Besides some mutated animals and other creatures of the desert, only the raiders give us trouble. Aradash is our leader. He is in the large central house, if you wish to speak to him. So let's ask about the rest of the world. I know very little of the outside world. I escaped from a vault when it was attacked. Unfortunately, I was very hurt and did not remember much of what happened. But Drama was watching over me, and I was found by the people of Shady Sands. I live here now. Have you spoken to Ian yet? He is a merchant guard who was hurt. He is recovering in the guardhouse over there. She points to the east. He is more widely traveled than I. Alright, well now we're going to ask her about herself. My life was very boring. I was raised in a vault. I lived there for many years. Unfortunately, we were crowded and life was very bad. There was a schism, and many people left, taking with them the best equipment. Still, some of us tried to stay in the vault, but then we were attacked. I was hurt and ended up here. Now I try to help people. Where was this vault of yours? It was Vault 15, due east of here. We tried to make contact with some other vaults. We always failed. I think the raiders who attacked my fellow dwellers. Be careful. Now if you look at our information window over here, we earned 250 experience for the knowledge we gained from Katarina. So that's more reason why it's worthwhile to talk to people. Not only can we get information and story and plot and lore, we can also earn XP and items and stuff. Alright, that's all for now. Now, I know most of the characters that we can and can't talk to, so I'm going to try to be quick about this. Like this guy, he's got nothing to say. I hear the rad scorpions killed again last night. Brahmin sure do stink this time of year. Got nothing to say to you, stranger. Usually characters like these have nothing really to say, but every once in a while you might hear something amusing or get a little bit of interesting information. Alright, we're going to go in here and we're going to check out this bookcase. Just like clicking on that corpse back in the cave, clicking on this bookcase shows us what's in here. And there are some 223 FMG ammunition, and some BBs. Well, we're going to take them all. This ammunition is going to become some of the best ammunition in the game eventually. The BBs, not so much, but there's some interesting things that go on with the BBs that I may or may not be able to tell you about. So you see a short, stocky man. This is the man we want to talk to, and hopefully if I do this right, something good will happen. Hello, stranger. You look like you're new here. What's your name? My name's not important, or I'm Max. Well, we're just going to be friendly. We're going to tell him our name. Good to meet you. I'm Ian. So this is the wounded guard they were talking about earlier. What do you do here? I was a guard for the merchants at the hub. However, I was shot during a raid by bandits. I've been staying here. Since the people have helped me recover, still, my knowledge of the outside world and my experience makes me useful here. Shady Sands is my home now. Occasionally I get to visit Junktown or the hub to do some trading, since I'm the only person who's ever really left town. Ooh, well, first let's be polite. Let's tell him we're sorry about his injury. Thanks. It's been healing up well, thanks to Razlo. What can I help you with? Well, we can ask about the Raiders, the Scorpions, Shady Sands, Seth, but here's some good ones. Can you give me directions to the hub and Junktown? Alright, the hub's a big trading center far south of Shady Sands. It's run by several different caravan groups of merchants. The water merchants, the Crimson Caravan, and the Fargo traders. Junktown is a little south and a ways west. It's smaller, but it's a good place to drop in for a drink. It's overseen by a fellow by the name of Killian Darkwater, the local shopkeeper, sheriff, and mayor. Thanks. So the value of that was not just learning that to the south there's 2 more villages, but those, now that we know where those locations are, they'll be on our map. So we can just click on the name of those areas and travel straight there, as opposed to having to look for them or stumble across them by accident. Alright, let's ask about the Raiders. There are 3 groups, the Khans, the Vipers, and the Jackals. They pretty much hate each other, but they all raid Shady Sands. Alright, let's ask more about Shady Sands. Shady Sands is a small but self-sufficient community. The only trouble here is with the bandits and the rad scorpions. Well, we already asked about the bandits. Let's ask about the rad scorpions. Rad scorpions are very dangerous. They have a poisonous stinger in the tail and are very quick. Aradash has been trying to find a way to get rid of them. If you feel brave, you could talk to Aradash about them. Alright, goodbye. Okay, so I'm going to quick save. Because now we're going to try to convince this guy to do something. Well, you know what? Let's ask about Seth first. Seth is a very brave fighter. He occasionally goes to the rad scorpion caves to kill a few rad scorpions, but they always wind up coming back. There's just too many for him to fight. Are the rad scorpions really that dangerous? Yeah, he already told us about that. So, if you see here, could you help me a bit? Your experience would be useful. Tempting offer, but since this place gets boring, tell you what, standard rates, 100 caps and you got a deal. Well, we don't have 100 caps, but maybe we can convince him if he gets a piece of the action instead. He may or may not agree with this. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'll help you out in exchange for my share of loot. Let's go. It'd be good to get back into action. Alright, and we earn 100 experience for convincing Ian to join our quest. Now Ian will now follow us around as one of our companions. Now normally the only thing we could really do was kind of talk to him a little bit and learn what he's already told us, or we could barter with him to give him better equipment. One thing that we could also do is steal from him. Now we're going to take that money. He will never get upset at us stealing from him, but we'll never get any experience from stealing from him or planting things on him. In fact, planting things on him is one of the better ways to get him to carry equipment. we're not going to worry about that right now. Since we're playing the Fallout Fix-It mod, when we talk to him, we have some extra options. We can change our combat tactics. We can change formation. We can also ask him to step aside. We can tell him to get the fuck out of the way. And if you played this game before, it's very easy for you to get it stuck on NPCs. So there are a lot of times where you'll end up in a doorway with them just standing there. And you've got to try to finagle your way to get them to move out of the way. But with this, we can just ask them to step aside. And they move. So let's discuss our formation. I would like you to stay close and walk. Let's discuss our combat tactics. I want you to prefer ranged combat against close and draw your best weapon. Alright, nothing else. So let's finish exploring this area. So what did I just tell you about NPCs being in the way? Well, we had one in our way just there for a second. This guy has nothing to say to us. But this bookshelf is important. This bookshelf is important because, one, I'm going to use it to store equipment. So we're going to put the BBs here, the ammunition here. I'll put the mentats here as well. And everything else I'm going to hang on to. But I'm going to take this scout book. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the scout book yet. But we're going to explore this area. I'm Razlo. Can I help you? I need healing. I think we actually need healing, but we'll tell him that. Let's see here. You're barely hurt. I suggest a good night's sleep and some rest. You heal naturally over time. This is the doctor. We can come to him for healing if we needed it. I've been poisoned. Sorry, can't cure any poisons. I don't have the proper ingredients to make a decent antivenom. And this is his wife. You look distraught. Are you in need of assistance? I need healing. My husband Razlo can help you. Ask him. Well, we've already talked to him. So I'm going to hit F6 to save. Quick game was successful. Because I'm going to try to take what's on this bookshelf. Nope, not you, Ian. Please do not take my things. So, just trying to take stuff like that, we're going to get yelled at. But if we try to steal, please do not take my things. You know what's possible to do? Nope, we've pissed them off and now combat it. So I'm going to hit F7. Nope. Come here, Ian. I may have to come back and try this again later. Maybe when our steal skill gets a little higher. Right now it's what, 19? But there are some goodies on there that I would love to get our hands on. Alright, so this is the house we were told about. And there's a peasant. There's Aradash. There's a busy looking cook. So let's go say hello to the busy cook. I'm too busy to talk right now. I've got to get this meal ready. That smells really good. I bet it tastes great. Why, thank you. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you for the compliment. I'm going to tell my friends about you. So that little bit of nicety that we just did, that is going to help improve our reputation in this town. In fact, if we go down here, I think it's karma. And this is our general reputation. This range number represents your general reputation. The higher positive value indicates you've gained the attention and respect of normal folks. Negative values indicated you're hated by some for your evil actions. So since we've been nice to this woman, she's going to go around telling people, oh, this guy was so nice, and we'll get better reactions from people for it. Even though we're about to go to their bookshelf, and we're going to take their stim pack and their knife. I'm going to leave these rocks where they are, though. And what I'm going to do... Come here, Ian. I'm going to plant one of these knives on him. So that way, if he ever runs low on ammo, he has a knife to fight with. Let's go talk to Aradesh. Alright, brace yourselves.
Greetings. Your business in Shady Sands might be...
So, Aradesh is an important NPC. He's important enough that he gets one of these talking heads. And a voice actor to voice his lines. So, let's be honest with him. Let's tell him why we're here. I'm from a vault to the west. My people are dying of thirst, and I need to find a water purifier chip for them to survive. Also, watch his facial expressions. If we say things to him that he doesn't like, he'll get upset. But if we say things he does like, we'll see him get happier.
Wanderer, I shall believe you, for now. You may enter Shady Sands, but be warned, your every move will be watched.
Well, fair enough. Can we ask you a few questions?
Certainly. What do you wish to know?
Well, first, tell us about the other towns around here.
Junktown lies south of here, though there is little in the way of visitation. From stories, I'm certain there are cities south of that.
Alright, so like when we talked to Ian, learning about Junktown from him puts it on our list of locations we know. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly. What do you wish to know?
What's going on around here?
Oh my, yes. Great packs of rad scorpions are killing our herds. We don't know where they're from, and no matter how many we kill, there's always more.
Go on.
And now the monsters are attacking my people. Roslo is trying to find a cure for their poison, but I'm not sure how it goes.
Well, I'll help you get rid of these things. I could help for a price. Well, that's terrible. Can I ask you more questions? Well, no. We're going to help. We're just going to help out of our sense of altruism.
Yes. Please, talk to Roslo. He possesses far more information on these creatures than I.
You see, that comment made him much happier. He's much more willing to talk to us now. So he'll have that happier expression will help us know what type of attitude he has towards us. Now, I thought I saw, yep, hiding over here in the corner. This is Tandy. Come here. Hello, Tandy. Where are you going? Tandy, I would like to talk to you. And she walks off screen. Well, let's go talk to the doctor until she decides to come back. Now, since we've talked to other people about it, we now have additional dialogue. So now we can ask him about rad scorpions. Alright. Not too much. They seem to be extremely large versions of North American emperor scorpion. Contrary to my medical knowledge, their poison has grown more potent, not diluted as I would expect. Seth has been hunting them, which helps some of my tests. And how such a large creature can even be possible by natural evolution or even radiation-induced mutation is beyond me. You seem well educated. What are you doing here? Doc Morbid in Junktown taught me some, and just because we live in stone huts does not mean we are any less intelligent or educated. Have a nice day. Alright, so we learned a little bit about the rad scorpions. Now, is Tandy still hiding in the corner over here? Of course. Well, now we're going to do something a little different. See this? Oh, wait, there she is. Excuse me.
I heard there was a traveler in town, but I was kind of skeptical until I saw you. My name's Tandy. What's yours?
Alright, so this is Tandy. She's another kind of important NPC, which is why she has this talking head here. And her voice actor, if I'm recognizing it right, is Cree Summer. Cree Summer is a very famous voice actor here in the US who's done all kinds of roles. I can't even begin to think. Like, I think one of her earliest roles was Penny on Inspector Gadget. But she's been all over the place. I could probably name dozens of characters if I really thought about it. Like, she was Jen Walters in She-Hulk on one of the Hulk cartoons. She was Foxy Brown. I think that was her name, Foxy Brown, in Drawn Together. Oh goodness, she's just everywhere. She's been doing voice acting for several decades now, and you can find her almost anywhere. All right, so we could just say our name is Max, or my name is Max. Remember it. Well, let's just be a little more polite and just say our name is Max.
Wow. How do you like our little town? Bored yet?
You may have gotten the impression already that this young lady does not like the town she lives in, so we're going to be kind of playful with her. Well, yes, it is a bit boring, or hell yes, there's nothing here to do but watch the Brahmin mate.
Finally, someone else who sees. Of course, you've probably been everywhere, so this must be hell for you.
See, she really liked that comment. It was playful, and on top of that, it also kind of worked towards her personality and her views. So, if you're bored here, why don't you leave?
Me? Leave? I wish. I don't know enough to leave alone. No one else wants to go. And worst of all, my father says he would have a heart attack if something happened to me.
Alright, her father is Aradash back in the house. Tough situation. Can I ask a few questions, though?
Sure, I guess. I've never been out of here, so I don't know what help I can be. So, what you need?
Alright, what else is around these parts?
There's a bunch of cities down south, but since you're such a great traveler, I'm sure you know that already.
Thanks.
No problem. Anything else?
The truth is we're not great travelers. This is our first time out of the vault. Oh, what else? What else is going on around here?
Same as always. Boring.
Alright, have you heard any stories from down south?
Just stuff.
Alright.
No problem. Anything else?
Well, how do you like it here?
It's okay, I guess. I mean, it is home and all, but it's so boring. I want to see the world.
It seems nice and safe here.
Yeah, real safe. And so boring, I think my brain's gonna leak out of my ear at any moment.
Why don't you leave?
Me? Leave? I wish. I don't know enough to leave alone. No one else wants to go.
Yeah, you see, we can
Worst of all,
kind of get
my
stuck
father
in these
says he'd have a
dialogue
heart attack if
loops.
something happened to me. Sure, I guess. I've never been out of here, so I don't know what help I can be.
Well, that's about
So,
it.
what you need?
Thanks for your time.
Well, thanks for talking. We don't get many strangers here, so it's always good to talk to new people. See ya.
Alright. So here's the other thing I wanted to tell you about. This exit grid here is green instead of brown. This means instead of exiting the area, we'll go to a different part of the area. Alright, so we are in another part of Shady Sands. This is where they're growing their food. And we can talk to this guy. Good day. Hello. What can I do for you? What's your name? I'm called Curtis. What can you tell me about your village? The village is small, but we support ourselves. Aside from the attacks by raiders and the occasional rad scorpion, we have no problems. Ardash is a good leader. What are you doing? I'm a farmer. We irrigated the desert many years ago. Although the wasteland is harsh, it is possible to grow things with patience and time. I see, you seem to be doing pretty well. What can I do for you? Well, nothing else right now. Now, it's important to remember we can talk to him, because hopefully we're going to come back a little bit later and talk to him some more. Now, in addition to being able to search for items on the ground, not on the ground, but rather searching for items in containers like bodies and bookshelves and chests, sometimes they're just items laying on the ground. Like over here, there's a sledgehammer. So we're just going to go and pick that up. But more importantly is a rope. So we're going to take that. Now, in fact, I might just equip that. Well, I won't do it now. It might upset somebody if I just put the hammer on. Now, there's nobody else over here we can talk to, but there is a house worth exploring. So we want that bookshelf. Because we get another rope and another scout book. Alright, so now not only is Ian in the way, one of the NPCs is in the way. So please step aside. Now we just gotta get that guy to move. Come on, buddy. Well, while we're waiting for him to move, we're going to go into our inventory. We're going to look at these books. A book on the methods and ideas of scouting. Very practical information regarding outdoor life. When we find books like this, we can read them and gain some skill points. Now, I think the skill points are always the same, but the time it takes to read the book is going to be different depending on our intelligence. So our intelligence is 9, and I think if I have my math right, it starts at 10 hours for an intelligence of 1, and subtracts 1 hour for every point beyond that. So at 9, I think it should take us 2 hours to read a book, and at 10, it would take us 1 hour. Now, before I do, let's look at our character. Our outdoor skill is a measly 1. It's awful. But let's read this book. And let's get out of here while we have the opening. Our outdoor skill went up 9 points. That's nothing to sneeze at. Now, that was the first time we read it when our skill points were that low. What happens if we read it again? Alright, it's nighttime now. In some places, things can change during day and night. To the best of my knowledge, nothing is different in Shady Sands at night. You know what? Since I'm talking about this, if you watching the video know anything about these areas that I don't or I don't bring up, please feel free to mention in the comments, things that I missed, and if I get to it in time, we'll go back and we'll take a look at it. So what does our character stat say now? 19. So we jumped up 18 points from reading those 2 books. Alright, now we've been going for a while, but I think what I want to do is talk to Seth here. Take me to the Rad Scorpion Caves. Are you sure you want me to give you directions to the Rad Scorpion Caves? I can't go, but I can show you the way. Yeah. Alright, so me and Seth are in the Rad Scorpion Caves. And I think we're going to call it an episode here. But when we get together next time, we'll finish exploring the Rad Scorpion's caves and see if we can't help out Shady Sands. Let's just quick save and call it an episode. Alright, see you next time.